such a character. This is the Eszett. You may have seen it already, but maybe you thought it was just a fancy B or a beta from Greek, but in fact it sounds nothing like B. It is used in German, but not in Swiss German, which follows a slightly different set of rules than the standards from Germany and Austria. The sound of this letter is SS. In fact, in Switzerland they simply use SS instead. Despite this fact, the name Eszett means SZ in German, presumably because this letter originated as a compression of S and Z, but later it became what it is, a short for two letters S. The Eszett was at first a letter used only in lowercase, and it was traditionally replaced by double S on uppercase at all times. Recently, some fonts started featuring what were unofficial uppercase forms for the Eszett. And because of that, in 2017, the uppercase Eszett became an accepted standard. Despite that, using the Eszett only in lowercase is still very common, even in official documents. To explain why the Eszett has this shape, we have to go back a bit. Back some centuries, especially in Europe, it was very common to write letters with visual connections between them, mostly as a form of making the text look nicer, more artsy and noble. This is called a ligature. Also, there were some minor differences back then in the way people used to write the Latin alphabet. One of those differences was on the small letter S. The one that we commonly use now was called back then the short S, and there was another one, a long-shaped form of S, known as the long S. I plan to talk more about the long S in the future. For now, let's just say those were the two forms of the letter S used in alternation according to the context. Remember the ligature I spoke earlier? In this case, what happened is that a ligature between the long S and either the S or the Z became an extra letter in German. Possibly because in German it was very common to join those characters together. Well, but the ligature was with SS or SZ. It was probably shaped initially after the long S and Z, like the name implies, and like old style fonts usually do, like this one. Now though, many fonts shape it after the long S plus the short S, reflecting its current actual sound. So, this is it for the Eszett. Soon I'll be back with another fascinating letter. Thanks for watching.